Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The False Nine. This is episode 111, coming to you from Halifax, Nova Scotia, and BNV Studios on the Halifax waterfront. I'm Mike Vesey, as usual, joined alongside by the homie Neil Jordan. What up, Neil?
World Cup time, buddy. Got the Etihad Hutchinson jersey representing Canada. Let's go, boys. I don't know if he's going to make it to 100 caps. He's at 97 now, and he hasn't played that much this year because he's been hurt. But if he can, I just want to see him once on the World Cup stage. I think anyone who has watched this team as long as we have and have seen them been shit, as long as they have, and he's been the captain of the team, he needs to get on the pitch. I don't even care if he's hurt. Just put him out there.
Oh, yeah, he's getting minutes for sure. Maybe garbage time minutes.
Yeah.
But we'll see teams out there.
That's right.
Yes, this is the official The False Nine World Cup Preview 2022. Check out the BNV Media channel on YouTube and click that like and that subscribe button, brought to you by Box and Rock. And we are going to get into the World Cup preview right now.
Yes, sir.
Just as a little preview of what to expect here, we're going to go group by group, starting alphabetically at Group A, and we're going to work our way down. We're going to get into a nice, granular, detailed preview when we get to Group F for our Canadian lads.
Yes, sir.
But we're going to do some predictions, what to look out for, players to watch, and what we think is going to happen. Maybe some bold predictions, some surprises.
I'm going to lose so much money on this World Cup. Neil's stupid bets of the week Neil's shitty bets of the week hasn't come up in a while. Trust me, there will be a lot over the World Cup.
Yeah. So let's get into it. Obviously, before we get into the actual group by group preview, we should say, what a weird fucking World Cup.
Yeah.
This is going to start in November and run through the third week of December.
Yeah.
It is in Qatar. Reportedly over 6,000 deaths in the building of the stadiums for this thing from foreign workers.
I didn't know it was that many. Jesus.
So, I mean, and there's, the Danish squad are wearing their jersey maker Hummel is basically their design is in protest of the World Cup.
Yeah.
If you watch the Bundesliga this weekend, many of the stadiums with boycott Qatar signs throughout the stadium. So as a hardcore fan, we are both, we were talking about it on the way down, incredibly stoked for the on-field product. This is the greatest sporting event in the world.
Yes, sir.
The most watched, the most high profile. The whole world stops to watch this. But we would be remiss if we didn't mention the kind of insanity surrounding this World Cup and the corruption of FIFA that has always been there, but is in stark view for this World Cup.
Yeah, no, and I mean, between, the worker deaths and then you have the treatment of LGBTQ people and how I think someone from the English government was like, go there and be basically like almost like don't be gay there. And like, how can you tell people to not be who they are? They've reduced apparently the alcohol sales because Qatar is a Muslim country and they do not drink alcohol. And they were like, okay, cool, you can sell your beer. And I guess now they've restricted the beer situations or alcohol situations to like a smaller part, like kind of away from stadiums. So like, hey man, like if you're over in Qatar, man, do not play around. They do not. I know someone who was over there. They do not play. They do not play. And like you don't want to be hemmed up over there.
It will be fascinating to see how they handle it, right?
Yeah.
Like, because they're going to have to loosen restrictions somewhat.
But they?
There's going to be thousands of... Are they going to just start throwing thousands of people in jail?
How big is the drunk tank?
I mean, if that happens, that's going to be a major kink in the production.
Yeah, right?
And I hope all you LGBTQ plus people bring your flags.
That's right.
And paint your faces and show out in those stadiums and throw that in their faces and dare them to kick you out. Because if they do, it's not going to look good on them.
It's not going to look good on them. And the best part, Sepp Blatter came out and said Qatar shouldn't have the World Cup. If only there was someone in the position to do that, you idiot. Like, as he says that from probably like on like one of his 4 super yachts in like the Mediterranean Ocean or something, funded by corruption money. Like, what are we doing? But all that being said, I'm gonna wake up at 6 a.m. and watch teams I have no business watching. I'm gonna my work's probably gonna take a decline. Life it's the World Cup, man.
World Cup.
I love it.
I can't help it either.
I love it.
I'm gonna be watching every single match.
Yeah.
As I have since 1994.
1994 was probably my first one as well.
Yep. So let's get into it. We are going to kick it off with Group A, which includes host Qatar, Ecuador out of South America, Senegal, and the Netherlands. And some heartbreaking news for the Senegalese heading into this World Cup. Sadio Mane, they named him to the squad.
Yeah.
So taking up a roster spot, but did pick up a knock in his final game for Bayern Munich over the weekend. Really, I mean, one of the best players in the world.
Yeah.
And Senegal's best player and captain. So just
African Cup of Nations winners, Senegal.
Yes, exactly. And one of that big money move from Liverpool this past offseason and high profile. And I got my fingers crossed that maybe they make it out of the group. So then, he can recover and see him down the line. But that really handicaps, that's their best player out.
Yeah. And I mean, they say as of right now, they're just saying like he's out for the first game at least. But if you're out for the first game, I mean, what kind of condition are you going to be in by the third game? Like, are you going to be good enough to play? And I don't think Sadio Mane has as well. I don't think we want to see him out there limping around on one leg. Like, that's not helping anybody. And that's just basically you're playing with 10 men at that point. And he's enough of a team player that would be like, you want to know what? Don't play me. So, but it sucks. I would love to see him. He's in his prime. By the time the next World Cup in 4 years, he'll be, I think, 32, 33. And maybe Senegal won't even make it to the World Cup. So it sucks because, even though former Liverpool player, and I'm supposed to hate them, but Sadio Mane just seems like an awesome person.
He really does.
He built a bunch of hospitals in Senegal.
Yeah, he gives away a huge percentage of his salary back to in his homeland. So great guy. Sad to see him go down.
Yeah.
That being said, I think I might pick Senegal to go through.
I think they're going to go through too.
Despite that. Yeah. I mean, you look up front, they got Boulaye Dia, who's having a great season at Salernitana in Italy. They got Nicholas Jackson, who is having a great season at Villarreal in Spain. A pacey winger forward, kind of can take that Mane spot. They got Ismail Assar, who had a great World Cup last time, kind of a breakout World Cup, and he's still at Watford.
People wanted to buy him for like $40 million after that World Cup.
Yeah, and they got some very good holding midfielders. Idrissa Gana Gueye.
Yes.
Pate Cis, who's had a great season at Rayo Vallecano in Spain. Had a great performance against Real Madrid when they beat them a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
They got Cheku Kouyaté of Crystal Palace, Nampalys Mendy of Leicester City. So a very sturdy midfield that will be hard to break down.
With Koulibaly at the back.
And Koulibaly, Abdou Diallo, Foto Bale Toure in their back line, and Edouard Mendy between the sticks.
Yeah.
So, pretty well-rounded squad all around. And I think I'd like them to go through over Ecuador. Ecuador has great players too, but I think I got the Dutch in first. Yep. They're heavy favorites.
I mean, yeah, and they've got they're just deep. Now the Dutch, it's just all depending on is Virgil van Dijk, is he going to make an improvement over Liverpool? But I still think that even if he's not that, at least for the group stages, they have more than enough to go through as the top of the group. But I think man for man, Senegal is better than Ecuador. I mean, Ecuador still have some great players like Moises Caicedo in midfield. He's had a hell of a season for
Brighton.
Brighton, yes, thank you.
Yeah, and another Brighton player, they had Pervis Estupiñán.
There we go, yes.
Up and down the wing, who took the Cucurella spot in the lineup.
Yep.
And they also have Piero Hincapié, Bayer Leverkusen.
Yep.
He's another fullback. So they have some talent. They still got Ener Valencia. Of West Ham. I think he's running out for Tigres in Liga MX right now, but has been filling it up in Mexico for the last few seasons.
So, I mean, and that's all you need. I think people put too much stock in where a person plays. If he's still playing, I mean, obviously, the standard of the league does matter. But if you're still filling it up in Mexico, you're probably still a decent player. And I mean, and Ener Valencia, we've seen him be good before. So, yeah, but I'm still picking Senegal to go ahead over them.
I think they're just deeper.
Yeah.
More talent up front. That Dutch squad, we should just say, loaded, especially in defense and midfield.
Yeah.
Up front, some questions. I mean, Memphis Depay is probably their most high-profile striker, but not getting minutes at Barcelona. Luke de Jong is at Besiktas now. My Turkish boys.
Right, yes.
But they are loaded at the
Cody
back.
Gakpo.
Great season at PSV.
Great season at PSV, and this might be his like shop window. Like they've been talking about him. This might be his like, okay, 100 million, let's go.
But their midfield, I mean, they got Frankie to spray the ball around, Martin Derone of Atalanta, who's having a great season, Teun Koopmeiners, his Atalanta partner, who is maybe Atalanta's best player this season.
I think so, yeah.
And youngster Xavi Simons, who came through PSG and is now back at PSV, and very, very strong at the back. Jeremy Frimpong having a fantastic season at Bayer Leverkusen, Malacia at obviously your boys, Manchester United, Denzel Dumfries on the other side from Inter.
Yeah.
And then De Ligt and Ake in the middle. So, that's a pretty...
Well, and Van Dijk in the middle.
And Van Dijk. So you got those three to cycle through, obviously. So, I mean, very, very strong.
They're very strong. I mean, and they have to, because I do have some questions about their goalkeepers. But, I mean, with the team in front of them, they should be all right.
Yep. So let's keep it moving to Group B. I think we both got Senegal.
Oh, wait,
Netherlands.
are we going to talk about Qatar?
No.
Okay, cool.
They're losing every game 6-0. So
Okay.
I don't know any of the players.
None. I had a look too, and I was like, they all play in Qatar. I was like, I don't know any of these people.
Yeah, they're there because they're the hosts.
Yeah.
They would not have qualified.
No.
Group B, very fascinating group, this one.
Yes. In a whole bunch of ways, too.
In many ways. You have the old colonial powers, England and the United States. Obviously, a fraught history there. Iran is in this group, and of course, Iran in the news right now for all sorts of horrible reasons. Mm-hmm. Shouts to all the ladies on the streets of Tehran right now, risking their lives. We've got, some horrific news coming out of their government that, threatening death penalty to thousands of people.
15,000 people or some shit.
Unbelievable, horrible stuff.
Yeah.
And that's why we've heard some calls for them to be banned from the World Cup.
Including Sepp Blatter, which, again...
You know where you can go, Sepp.
Yeah.
And Wales, who, will be the fourth favorite to go through, but, basically a Premier League squad.
Yes.
I mean, almost all their players play in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So how do we handicap this one? England, heavy favorites.
Yeah.
I think I do have them going through.
Yep.
But let's talk about, this is your second international squad.
Yes.
Behind, of course, our native land.
Yes. Well, I mean, it was England for so long because we stunk as the men's team stunk. So, but now that we're in the World Cup, Canada gets priority.
Yep. But let's talk about some of the selections. There was some controversy.
Yeah.
Mainly, in my eyes, at the back. He picked Maguire, Dyer, Cody, and no Fikayo Tomori, who, for my money, is maybe having the best season of any English center back.
And we'll talk about the Milan game last week, but he was awesome on the weekend against I can't remember who they played. Whoever they played.
I think Fiorentina,
yes, and they scored the last minute. But he was awesome at the back, and he's been awesome all season. And the fact, that doesn't even bother me. The fact that Gareth Southgate has the nerve to come out the side of his mouth and be like, we're picking people based on form. Have you not watched Harry Maguire for the last fucking 3 months? Like, well, actually, I haven't because he hasn't been playing because he's been stinking. So, like, just say you wanted to pick him because you're familiar with him and like he fits your system, and that's cool and that's fine. You pick who you want, but don't lie. Like, don't be stupid because Tomori should not only be on the plane, he should be starting. Yeah. He's been the best English center back in Europe all season, and looking at this list, it's not even close.
Yeah, I think so too. Also, Calvin Phillips.
I forgot that he was on City.
Right? He hasn't played at all.
Yeah, so
he's on the plane. I doubt he'll get on the field.
No.
Obviously, Declan Rice is got that spot on lock alongside Jude Bellingham.
Yeah.
That is a really good holding midfield duo.
Yeah.
One of the best in the world.
It should be, yeah.
And up front, Harry Kane obviously will be leading the line. Marcus Rashford and Raheem Sterling flanking him. But that fourth spot up for grabs and went to producer Mark's Magpies Callum Wilson, having a fantastic season.
Yep.
But one Ivan Toney threw his hat in the ring at the weekend with a brace. We'll get to the Premier League story later. If it was me between those two, I think maybe a slight edge to Toney. I think
take Toney.
A little more well-rounded as a player.
Yeah, he's more physical He just
better with the ball at his feet.
Better with the ball at his feet. And I think I mentioned it maybe a month ago. Penalties. He's hit like his last 20, 21 penalties. We know at some point in this tournament, England's going to have to go to penalties. And I would think you would just take him on there just for that, even if he doesn't see the pitch for the rest of the tournament. But yeah, man, I think Gareth has to win this. If he doesn't win this tournament, he's done.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of questions at the back. He's going to play 3-4-3. He's going to play conservatively. He's not going to take the handbrake off, and it's just England. That's just what he's going to do. So if he doesn't win the World Cup, I think win or lose, he should be gone. But if he doesn't win, he's done.
Yeah. We should get to some of the United States selections because Berhalter also coming under fire up front mainly. I mean, Jordan Morris and Haji Wright. I mean, Haji Wright's having a good season in Turkey.
Yeah.
But no Ricardo Pepi, who is having a fantastic season in the Netherlands on loan, I think at Groningen. And no Jordan P. Fox Siabachu, who is having a great season at Union Berlin, who have been challenging for that top spot in the Bundesliga and is leading the line for them.
Yeah.
Jesus Ferreira, great FC Dallas player.
Yeah.
Timothy Weah, Josh Sargent, who's having a great season in the second tier for Norwich City. So, he seems like he's loyal to his guys, and I'm not sure if he's picking guys on form because, P. Fox Siabachu should be starting for the United States as far as I'm concerned.
I agree wholeheartedly. And I mean, they're depending, and they need a good someone to lead the line. And I think that Siabachu, he would have been the perfect person, put him with Pulisic, who does play well for the Americans, and have them dovetailing and kind of doing their thing. And they're going to have to score goals because they're not great at the back either. So I don't know, man. I and this isn't just me hating because it's the States. I don't know if they're going to make it out of the group, man. I think Wales might pip them man for man. I
mean, if you look at I think England go through fairly easily.
Yeah.
I think any of those other three teams could go through.
Yeah.
Wales, Iran, or the United States.
Right.
Tim Ream having a fantastic season at age 35 for Fulham. Played every minute for Fulham so far and been fantastic for them and a great season for them. But other than that, you're right. Pretty thin at the back. Anthony Robinson, his Fulham teammate alongside him.
I think that they've got to go with that. You've got that pairing lined up for you. And Fulham, and they've both been playing well for Fulham, who've been playing well above their weight.
Yep. I mean, Serginho Dest, who's playing bit part minutes at AC Milan on loan. Cameron Carter-Vickers at Celtic. Joe Scally is at Mönchengladbach. So, got some decent fullbacks. That midfield's really good, though. I mean, Brendan Aronson and Tyler Adams are tearing it up for Leeds this season.
Tyler Adams has been awesome. He was great on the weekend against Tottenham.
Yeah, and Giovanni Reina, healthy in time. The Dortmund attacking midfielder / forward. So it'll be interesting to see if he can duplicate the form of his pops.
Yeah. Claudio,
who showed out in 1994.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I forgot. Yes. Holy shit. I'm old now because we watched his dad in 94 and now, but again, he's great when he's healthy. I'm do not let him train until the first game. And I wouldn't even bring him on the 60th minute. But when he's healthy, he's awesome.
Yeah. And if I'm just looking at this Wales squad, they're better. Their forwards are better than the United States. They got Gareth Bale, who scored the game-tying goal late for LAFC in their MLS triumph.
All he does is score big goals.
We should mention, which was a fantastic 3-3 game.
It was really
penalties.
good. Yep.
Unbelievable stuff. Them in Philadelphia Union.
Yep.
We should say that. Just work that in. They got Danny James, who scored at the weekend for Leeds.
Yep.
Brennan Johnson and Kiefer Moore, both of Nottingham Forest. Kiefer Moore at Bournemouth.
Right.
But both playing really well this season. Harry Wilson, also Fulham. They got Aaron Ramsey, who's at Nice in France and has revived his career a little bit. They got Nico Williams of Nottingham Forest at the back. Chris Mepham of Bournemouth. Lots of Forest and Bournemouth. They'd like to plumb the Welsh talent in those two squads, but basically a fully Premier League squad for their starting 11 and will not be walkovers for the U.S. or England.
No, I actually think that they're going to go through in the second group because I just don't think and also too actually who's their manager now, because it was Ryan Giggs but he had to step down because of his shenanigans.
Yeah.
So if they have a managerial switch, again, like they just might as well. They know they can beat the States. They can beat Iran. If they can just not get smashed against England and like go in on goal difference, I think they're good. And Iran's not going to be any pushovers either.
I mean, Iran maybe up front especially are extremely dangerous. Mehdi Taremi is having a fantastic season at FC Porto and has been for years.
Yep.
A big number 9 focal point. Sardar Azmoun also having a great season at Bayer Leverkusen.
Yep.
So those are 2 big names up front. They also have Salman Ghoddos, who is a Premier League player at Brentford, I believe.
Right.
So some really good players up front, especially Taremi. And shouts to Sardar Azmoun coming out before the tournament and decrying his own government.
Good for him.
Unbelievably in the press. We'll probably, will have trouble setting foot in his own country.
I was going to say, can he go home now?
So just incredible courage. So shouts to Sardar Azmoun.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, I've heard people like, don't make this World Cup political. Well, as soon as you put it in Qatar, it became political. And then with just everything in the climate of the world, it's going to be political. It would be irresponsible of it not to be. This is the World Cup, so it would be wild irresponsible to not make it political.
Yep. So picks for Group B. I think I am going England and in a slight upset, their neighbors to the west.
Yeah.
I'm taking Wales.
I'm taking Wales too. I don't think that the States have the horses. I don't think that they have. I don't think they have the defense, and quite frankly, I don't think they have the coaching. I think Berhalter's. I think he sucks. Quite frankly,
it's unbelievably he's still there. I mean, they barely qualified, and now, it's not looking good. I don't like their prospects.
No.
So hard times for our neighbors to the south. Let's move on to Group C, and it is the swan song for the GOAT.
Yeah.
Lionel Messi in his last World Cup. Argentina will be heavy favorites to move on in first place from that squad, loaded all over the pitch. We don't have to tell you. Up front, Lautaro Martinez, Lionel Messi, Paulo Dybala, Julian Alvarez. Holy moly. In the middle, Alexis McAllister.
Yeah, that's right.
Shouts to the Brighton number 10.
Brighton number 10.
Making it.
Scored on the weekend.
Yeah, having a great season.
Yep.
They're on merit for sure. They got Angel Di Maria, who just returned from injury, the Juve man. Rodrigo de Paul to hold things in front of the defense, the Atleti man. And then at the back, they'll probably have Romero and Otamendi in the middle. No, probably Martinez.
Martinez has got to play, I would think. But I mean, it's good to have options. You got Christian Romero. Otamendi's been fantastic at Benfica.
Who are undefeated in Portugal?
Really?
Undefeated.
Jesus, hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, and like they've got a good squad
too. I mean, the Sevilla guys, right? They got
Juan Foyth,
Marcus Acuna,
who
flies up and down the wing for Sevilla, and Nahuel Molina from Atleti.
Oh, right, yes.
Nicolas Tagliafico, who went from Ajax to Lyon in the offseason. So they're loaded all over the pitch and should, I imagine, go 3-0 in their group.
Go 3-0 with like a crazy goal difference. And like that, they should aim to like destroy people so they can rest Messi and company for the later rounds.
Yep. And the rest of this group, we have Saudi Arabia, Mexico, and Poland. So I think the second place is up for grabs between the Mexicans and the Poles.
Yeah.
I would give the slight edge to Poland, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, they do have the world's greatest goal scorer leading the line. They also have, Arkadiusz Milik and Krzysztof Piatek to, back him up.
Yep.
Piotr Zielinski, having one of the best seasons in Europe for Napoli.
Been fantastic.
Running that midfield. I can't believe Kamil Grosicki still plays.
He's still playing,
I think
right?
He's at like Hull City or something.
Yep, and I still can't pronounce his name.
Yep. And so, I mean, a little light at the back. They have Nico Zalewski of Roma, the young fullback who was born and raised in Rome, but has Polish parents.
Oh, okay.
So he qualifies. Matty Cash of Aston Villa. You wouldn't think Polish, but his mother, he qualifies as a Polish citizen.
Thank you.
Will be showing up at World Cup.
I meant to actually ask you about that, because I probably could have looked, but I was like, Matthew Cash, that can't be. God damn it, that is Matty Cash. How did that happen?
Yep. And Mexico, of course, will be that will be their main rival. I think that game, I think, will be the decider of who goes through.
Yeah.
Up front, obviously, they have Hirving Lozano, who's having a great season at Napoli.
Yep.
Squad player, but getting plenty of minutes.
Getting plenty of minutes and playing well when he gets those minutes.
Raul Jimenez, it'll be interesting to see if he's starting because having almost, it hasn't even started in the last few games for Wolves. After having, a great season maybe 2-3 years ago after that head injury.
It hasn't been the same.
Hasn't really been the same.
Yeah. And I mean, and that sucks because he was really good for him. And I mean, then you move to the midfield. You have Andres Guardado.
In his 5th World Cup.
That's crazy. And 36 and still playing really well. Like he was really good in the Canada-Mexico game.
Yeah, and still playing regular minutes for Betis, who are high up the standings, I think, in a Champions League position right now in Spain.
Yeah.
So. They got Edson Alvarez, who's sitting in front of defense for Ajax. They have some, I think, at the back. That's where they will struggle. I think
that's the thing. Yeah.
I mean, Lewandowski could fill it up against them. So I might pip Poland for second in this group behind Argentina.
I wouldn't even care if Mexico had the better team. I'm just saying Poland just because they have Lewandowski. And just, again, we've seen it with Barcelona. Just put it in the general direction. Just put it in his aura and he'll figure out a way to put it in the net.
Yep. So let's keep it moving to Group D, where we have France, Australia, Denmark, and Tunisia. So 2 heavy favorites in this group.
France and Denmark.
France are, I think, second favorites overall, betting-wise.
Argentina, France, and then Brazil, or Brazil, Argentina, and France, some order.
It's those 3. I think Brazil are the betting favorite, and France and Argentina are pretty even odds between those 2 guys. France is just loaded. We don't even really need to mention. Their up front is ridiculous.
It doesn't make any sense how much talent they have. Like, okay, well, where do you want to start? Do you want to start with Ballon d'Or winner Karim Benzema? Do you want to start with arguably the best young player in the world, Kylian Mbappe? Do you want to bring on Olivier Giroud and Antoine Griezmann and Ousmane Dembele? And as I'm reading all this, I'm just like, holy hell.
It is
and
crazy.
Christopher Nkunku, Kingsley Coman, which you can probably play him in midfield if there's no room for him up front, but like, that's probably the most stacked group of, like, all 7 of those guys could start.
Their bench is like better than most other teams.
Yeah.
It is crazy how deep France are. And Anto Griezmann, like we didn't even
mention Anto Griezmann.
And Marcus Thuram for Gladbach, I think, is like right behind Nkunku in Germany in score. Like Nkunku's leading Germany in scoring right now, and Thuram is second.
Yeah.
And like neither of those guys are going to play.
It's ridiculous. And then like now midfield, they've obviously had some issues because Paul Pogba is going to miss the tournament. N'Golo Kante is going to miss the tournament. But Adrian
Rabiot's having a great season.
He's having a great season, as crucial as he is. I never ever said that there's like he's not talented. He's wildly talented. He's just, I don't know, like a knucklehead? Is that the best way to describe him? Yeah. Like sometimes he just kind of like doesn't care, but like when he does care, he's been awesome. And then like Eduardo Camavinga, who's been playing very well for Real Madrid. Tchouaméni hasn't been even playing that well for Madrid, but I think that he should get on the squad. Former Roma captain Jordan Veretout?
He did wear it once in a while.
Okay.
Him and Matteo Guendouzi, who partner each other in that Olympique de Marseille midfield. Yep. So pretty strong in the middle. And then at the back, very, 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 very good. William Saliba and Rafa Varane and Ibrahima Konate. I mean, pick 2 of those 3 to start.
Like, who do you start? Like, I mean, I would probably not Varane just because of if he's healthy, he probably has to start.
Upamecano too.
Upamecano, I was just going to say that too. And like you've got
and Koundé.
And you've got Theo Hernandez and Benjamin Pavard on the flanks.
Yeah.
But a
wealth of riches.
But in goal, I mean, I'm assuming they're going to go with Hugo Lloris because he's the captain and he's prone to make some gaffes, let's just say, every once in a while. So
yeah, really a shame that Mike Maignan has an injury. I think he
probably
would have been number 1, the AC Milan number 1. Yeah, but he's hurt right now, so really tough for him to miss out. Steve Mandanda making the squad. Yeah, unbelievably. I mean, he's got to be 40.
Oh, I'm pushing like he is. I'm going to say he's 37.
Well, younger than I thought, actually. I got Denmark going through pretty easily in that second slot. A very good squad. Christian Eriksen, we'll get to the Premier League story over the weekend, having an unreal season
Just
running
even-
your midfield.
Like, and I mean, it's just so much. But like, I mean, the last time we saw him in a not an internet, well, I guess continental tournament, it would have been Euros. He like his heart stopped,
fucking
and we
died.
didn't know that. I mean, he died.
And he's back to life and running Manchester United's midfield.
Like,
It is so great.
It's so great to see. And so I mean, he's obviously going to be a very important player for them. And alongside in midfield, I'm assuming Højbjerg, Thomas Delaney.
Yeah, I think Højbjerg will
probably.
probably start. Mikel Damsgaard is at Sevilla. He was at Nice last season. He's a young talent. Jesper Lindstrom at Eintracht Frankfurt.
At Frankfurt, yes.
Having a very good season, a young talent. He'll probably get on the field too. Little thin up front.
Yeah.
I mean, goals will be the thing. I don't even know who they will probably start. I mean, Jonas Wind is a young up-and-comer. They got Casper Dolberg at Nice. Martin Braithwaite from Espanyol, who had a cup of coffee with Barcelona last season.
Yep.
Yusuf Poulsen's getting a little long in the tooth, not playing for RB Leipzig this season up front. So I think goals will be where they hurt. They'll be very solid, hard to break down, but it'll be tough to put it past the keeper, but I think strong enough to go through over the Aussies and the Tunisians.
Yeah, and I mean that's the thing is that I don't even really have to go into Australia or Tunisia. Neither of them really have any like major players. Although one of your boys from Hibs,
we got a Hibby,
Stephen Doyle,
Martin Boyle,
Stephen Doyle,
close. But yes, Hibernian FC of Edinburgh, my Scottish lads got somebody in the World Cup. Great, although they do have Garan Kuol, who is a young 18-year-old up-and-coming hotness.
Okay.
He's in the City system. He's at Melbourne City.
Okay.
And is wanted by all the biggest squads in Europe.
Okay.
So they have some real hotness up front. So
and
he's one to watch.
And I do like, I have always liked midfielder Aaron Moy. I believe he's their captain. I think
he's at Celtic
He's
now?
at Celtic, yeah. And like one of the Celtic Champions League games, like, oh, that's where he is. 32 years old. He'll be 33, even 32 in September. I've always liked him. I think he's a smart player. I believe he scored a penalty.
Remember him at Huddersfield Town in the Premier League?
Yes, and I think he scored a couple goals in the last World Cup, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, and so that's them. And then Tunisia.
They got Wabi Kazri.
Yeah.
He's still going. He's actually at Montpellier now, my French boys.
Oh, really?
And he's still going. And Elias Skiri, a very good midfielder for Cologne.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's pretty clear cut who's going through. I think it's the European squads.
Yeah.
Let's keep it moving to Group E and one of the groups of death.
Yes.
There are a couple. This is in the running. I think it's between Group H and Group E for my money.
Yeah.
But we have Spain, Costa Rica, Germany, and Japan. And I'm not going to tip my hand at who's going through in this one. But let's go through the favorites. Obviously, Spain, stacked as usual.
Yeah.
Up front, though, maybe not quite as loaded as usual. It'll Alvaro Morata, Ferran Torres.
Who starts?
Ansu Fati. I mean, if they play a 4-3-3, which they are wont to do, they could probably play all three of those guys.
Yeah.
They also have Nico Williams, who can
Nico Williams has been great this year for Bilbao.
Yeah, and he could play either a winger or a wide forward.
Right.
So he's very versatile, and then their midfield is just fucking loaded. I mean,
Jesus Christ.
They got the old man Sergio Busquets, Gavi, Pedri, Carlos Soler.
No, Rodri's going to take the Busquets spot.
Yeah. Danny
Yep.
Olmo, who's had a great season at Leipzig. Carlos Soler has been awesome at PSG, come over from Valencia. So, I mean, honestly, it's going to be like, it's got to be, Pedri, Gavi,
with and Rodri. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. And then, I mean, at the back, you have Pau Torres, Aymeric Laporte. I'm assuming he's probably going to start. They want no parts of seeing Eric Garcia out there. How the hell did he make the squad?
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, he may start.
Oh, Jesus.
Valverde likes him. I don't know. And so does Xavi. I don't get it as a Barcelona fan. We've been through this before. But yeah, Jordi Alba's still going out there. Will it be interesting to see if he starts? They still got Carvajal and Azpilicueta. So, long in the tooth at the back.
Yeah. Long in the tooth at the back. And, I mean, they need a good defense because, look, man, I'm not going to be a homer. But David De Gea should be at least on the squad, right? Like, he's had a hell of a season.
I think on the squad.
Would you put Sanchez still as number one?
Well, Unai Simon is their starter. The Athletic Bilbao keeper.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
And he's been great.
Yeah.
And I think that's on merit. He's been probably the best keeper in Spain so far this season.
No, that makes sense.
But I mean, it is crazy that Dave didn't get on the squad. I mean, yeah, and Sanchez at Brighton has been fantastic. David Raya, though, like the Forest keeper.
Yeah, that's what and that's the thing that I'm saying though. Like the Forest that's let in roughly 16,000 goals this season.
Yep.
Anyway, I don't know. It seems weird, but they're my pick to top the group. But
I think so too.
Yeah,
they're my pick to top the group too. And Germany. Let's get to it. They are loaded up front. Jamal Musiala. I don't know why they classify some of these guys as forwards. Musiala is a midfielder.
Musiala's a midfield. He's been playing midfield for Bayern all season.
Yeah. Serge Gnabry is in fantastic form. Leroy Sané is in fantastic form for Bayern Munich.
Thomas Mueller still chugging along.
They took two youngsters from my Borussia Dortmund squad, Karim Adeyemi and Youssoufa Moukoko. It'll be interesting to see if they get on the field, but Moukoko has been in good form. Yeah. Also, Nico Füllkrug is among the league leaders in goals in Germany for Werder Bremen. Yep. So they got a good backup there. Their midfield is fucking loaded. They got Joshua Kimmich to run the show. Mario Götze in a feel-good story.
Yep. Just stay healthy, buddy. Just stay healthy.
Again and running Eintracht Frankfurt's midfield. Julian Brandt is having a great season. Leon Goretzka is having a great season.
Gundogan, Havertz.
But my one caveat with this squad, they are shaky at the back.
Rudiger, it's Rudiger, and it's Rudiger.
Yeah,
Nicolas Süle?
I mean, they took Schlotterbeck and Süle from Dortmund, who are shipping goals like crazy.
Yeah.
And we are outside of the top four in Germany right now. They took all these Dortmund defenders. Dortmund's defense is trash. Like, what?
Yeah, but I mean, fortunately, they have, Manuel Neuer is probably number one, but I mean, if you had Ter Stegen in there, that'd be pretty all right. And Kevin Trapp's not, if he's your number three keeper, that's not bad.
Very deep at keeper. And Neuer will start. I think Ter Stegen should be starting.
I agree.
But Neuer is going to start because he's the captain.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no, but I mean, Germany, they still have enough. But I mean, it's a different looking German squad than we are typically used to. Like,
stronger going forward.
There's usually that, like, they'd have a awesome midfield. Not that they don't have an awesome midfield. They still have an awesome midfield, but it's not what it used to be. And I don't know. I can see them. They're definitely going to advance, I think. But, like, I don't know. Depending on the draw, I don't think they're going to make it out of the round of 16, to be honest.
This is my upset special. I don't think they're making it out of the group.
Whoa!
I have Japan going through ahead of them.
Okay, well, talk me into it, because I was looking at the odds for this, and it was like, Japan's odds.
I love Japan.
Okay.
They have so many dudes on form right now. Daiichi Kamada is one of the best players in Germany right now.
Yeah, he's been fantastic.
For Takefusa Kubo is tearing it up at Sociedad right now. Wataru Endo is the captain at Stuttgart and is having a fantastic season in their midfield. Takumi Minamino at Monaco left Liverpool and has found his form in France. Up front, they have Ritsu Duan who's having a great season in Germany as well. They got Takuma Asano.
I was going to say, yeah.
Also having a great season up front. Very strong at the back. They got Takahiro Tomiyasu, Hiroki Sakai.
Evergreen Maya Yoshida.
Maya Yoshida still going. So, this is a bold call by me.
It is.
But I really, really love their midfield. I think Daiichi Kamada and Takefusa Kubo are going to, just run shit.
Kamada's been one of the top 7 midfielders in Europe. That was a total Bill Simmons random number, but one of the top 7 midfielders in Europe this year.
And Koru Mitoma, who has jumped off the screen at Brighton and Hove Albion the last couple of weeks.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has.
So, they are really, really deep through the middle, and I think will be, equally good going forward. And so this is my bold upset special. And you know what? it's with the tongue in the cheek.
Yes.
I mean, they're not as good as Germany.
No.
But I don't know. There's bad vibes around this German squad for some reason.
So, and that's another thing that I was going to like, and that's kind of what I was alluding. It's not, they don't have that feeling of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like superiority that Germany usually has going into a World Cup. Like they can get got. They've got a lot of talent and they could smoke some teams, but like, I think, shit, you may have. You want to know what? I'm in, and I will bet it. I will bet it. This will be Neil and Mike's possibly shitty bet of the World Cup.
Because it's going to be a shitty bet.
Yeah, but I mean, but listen, all you need to do, you don't need to be better than Germany. You just need to be better than Germany for the 90 minutes. They're going to be Costa Rica. If they can get a draw in Spain, that's cool. But like, all you just need to do is just be better than Germany for 90 minutes, and that's it.
Yeah, Costa Rica finishing last in that group.
Yep.
Shouts to Los Ticos, though. Always a soft spot for me. Sarah and I, my wife, go down to Costa Rica many a winter, and we love that country.
Yes.
But they are long in the tooth, boy. Holy moly, they're taking all the old men. Brian Ruiz.
That's what I was.
Joel Campbell, Celso Borges, Kendall Waston, Brian Oviedo. They're all like 38 years old.
How old do you think Joel Campbell is?
I mean, he's younger.
Okay, I was going to say he's 38, but he feels like he's 30, but he feels like he's 38 for me.
And then I think he's in Mexico now. Keylor Navas, fantastic keeper.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're not going anywhere.
He would have to stand on his head for them to even win a game.
Yep. So we have come to it. This is Group F. This is Canada's group.
That's right.
So we are going to lead off with our lads. And let's take a look at our squad. Alphonso Davies, of course, our leader, and classified as a forward for our national squad. He plays further up the field, and he was training with Bayern for the last week solid, no problems with his muscle problem that he picked up a couple weeks ago. So it looks that was the main thing for Canadian fans heading into us. That we the butterflies were there.
Oh, heart was in throat.
That we weren't going to get our main guy back, but looks like he will be and in full fitness. It does look like he is running at full speed. So
good.
Really, really huge sigh of relief off the bat. I'll lead off with that.
Yeah, and I mean, I may have watched the goal against, I think, Panama, the one where he saved it on the touchline and like scored it. I may have watched that no less than 12 times today just to get my like, he's an assured starter for one of the two best teams in Europe, and he's not even playing in his proper position. He's playing at a left back, and he's turned into one of the best left backs in the world. But playing further forward for us, it's a fantastic boost to our attack. And I mean,
our attack,
we got Jonathan David playing well at Lille.
I put it against anyone now. I mean, attack is. Yeah, as you said, Jonathan David wanted by all the biggest clubs in Europe, including Real Madrid and
Arsenal.
He'll be there
this summer. He's moving.
This January, maybe.
Yeah.
And Tajon Buchanan having a fantastic season at Club Brugge. Kyle Larin, all-time Canadian leading scorer, not playing much for Brugge.
Right.
But an experienced head put in there. So yeah, just attacking talent, no shortage of attacking talent. And then the second tier guys, Liam Miller having a great season, Ike Ugbo at Estac Trois, which is part of the City Football Group in France.
Okay.
And he's getting minutes there. Big news today, Lucas Cavallini is leaving Vancouver Whitecaps. So it'll be interesting
to see where he heads up.
He ends up. Junior Hoylett having a good season at Reading in the championship.
Yep.
So no shortage of attacking talent. And the on-form man for our squad, Steven Eustachio, who is running FC Porto's midfield right now alongside Otavio, and is one of the best players in Portugal. So, I mean, our midfield and forwards are very good. We got Ishmael Kone, the new hotness. At Montreal, who is going to be moving to Europe soon. I mean, he is way too good for MLS. And David Wotherspoon, who's running out in the Scottish Premier League. And then Kay and Piet from Toronto and Montreal, respectively. Yeah. Oso is still out there. So some good MLS talent in our midfield.
Yeah.
But our problem.
Defense, man. Like, I mean, who out of this group?
I mean, Alistair Johnson's our best defender, probably.
Yeah, and that's not good for like Steven Vittoria is 34, 35 years old.
And I think still playing at Chaves in Portugal. So at least he's in a good league.
He's in a good league, but I mean, like, it's not great, our defense. Sam Adekugbe, like, he's he's been good. And I think
he's in Turkey now.
I think he's in Turkey, but not like for like a big team or anything,
it's like
whatever.
Antalyaspor or something.
Yeah, and I think, and then at the back, or in defense, in goalkeeper, we got Milan Borjan, who has been great at times. He also is prone to lapses. I mean, most keepers are, but behind that defense, you almost have to be perfect.
Yeah,
and like, look, I love our boys. I'm going to be cheering for them. I really hope they do well. I don't think they're going to get out of the group because that defense just isn't, like, when compared to Belgium and compared to, oh my God, I'm blanking, Croatia, Morocco, all of those teams have talented forwards that, like, could be chomping at the bit to get at that defense. But outside of Steven, we don't really have anybody who can kind of hold the ball in midfield either. So, like, we're much more of a counter and go team. So if we can do that, we're going to be all right. But I think what a lot of people are going to see, maybe people who just kind of jumped on once the men's team started doing well, there's a large gap in quality between being good in CONCACAF and being good against Europe or being good against the South American teams. Like, we're getting there. Don't get me wrong. Like, we are getting there and we're on the ascent. And I mean, the majority of our squad, like, Fonzie's 21, Tajon's 22. I think Jonathan David's 22. A lot of our core is still very young. So by the time 2026 rolled around, we're hosting that, aren't we?
We'll have some games.
With some games with the States and Mexico.
Yeah.
So, like, this is more kind of a dress rehearsal for this. I almost was like, I'm gonna put something on them, but I don't want to put any money on them. I don't want to jinx them. But I don't think that we're going to get blown out as much as I thought we were, like, maybe a year ago.
Yeah, I think our chance to win is probably Morocco.
Yes.
I think we get, like, they're better than us.
Yep.
No doubt.
Yep. They got Hakimi back.
Yeah, I mean, he's their best player. They have Hakim Ziyech. They got Ez Abde El Zazuli, the young Barca La Masia product, who's at Osasuna now.
In Nesiri.
Youssef Enesiri, the striker for Sevilla. Really sad news, though. Maybe their best player, or an argument for their best player, Amin Harit, at Olympique de Marseille, picked up a serious injury in the second half of their last game.
Oh, Jesus.
And was running Olympique's midfield alongside Guendouzi and Vertu this season.
Oh, that guy. Yes, yeah. That sucks.
Is their number 10,
yeah.
And was, like, having a breakout season, and he will miss out. So I mean, it's great for us.
Yes.
That was going to be the Eustáquio matchup in that match, and he's not going to be there. But it's just so tough for them.
No one wants to see injuries. Like, I know it's great for Canada, but, like, I want to watch the World Cup with all of the squads at their, like, top peak of what they can be. So that sucks. Shouts to him.
Yeah. We don't have to go through the loaded squads at Belgium and Croatia. Obviously,
it's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, KDB, maybe best attacking midfielder in the world. Ferreira Carrasco at Leeds having a great season. Youngster Charles de Ketelaere at AC Milan is breaking out this year. Then they still got Tielemans and Onana to sit behind them and do a defensive job. Up front, Romelu Lukaku, they're saying will be healthy in time. Leandro Trossard having a fantastic season at Brighton.
I'm assuming Lukaku's going to start.
Yeah,
but
and I think Trossard maybe dovetailing around. That makes sense, right? Like, at least in tactically. And then at the back, pretty strong as well, especially on the wings. Timothy Castagne, Thomas Meunier. Vertonghen, though, having a great season at Benfica.
Yep.
Wout Faes has showed out for Leicester City recently.
Donker's been playing better lately.
Yeah, so Belgium should go through in top spot.
And Thibaut Courtois, for my money, the best keeper in the world right now.
Yeah, I think so too. And Croatia, I mean, they should go through in second.
Aging squad,
though. Andre Kramaric, probably their best striker up front for Hoffenheim. But Nikola Vlasic having a fantastic season at Torino alongside Luka Sucic, his teammate. Modric obviously still getting it done.
Yep. Kovacic still playing well.
Very, very good in a defensive. They got Brozovic, who is healthy in time.
Good.
He was missed some time at Inter recently.
Yep.
And Lovro Mayer at Stade Rennais in France is wanted by all the big clubs.
Right.
And is supposed to be the next Modric.
Okay. Yeah.
So they still got that. Little shaky at the back, though.
No shaky at the back.
You know, if we can hit him on the counter, you know, maybe we can nip these guys. But you know, they're just more talented.
You still like Lovren is still getting trotted out there. Good for him. He was never good. He was terrible, and he's 33 years old. Although I think I heard someone wherever he plays his club football, I think he's been playing well.
Yeah, sometimes you're just not quite Liverpool level.
Yeah, so we were going Belgium and Croatia.
Belgium and Croatia.
Yeah, but like I mean. Maybe again, I'm going to hold out hope. If we go through if Canada goes through out and gets out of the group, I'm going to be a fool on the next podcast after that, boy.
Oh, fuck yeah. Group G. This is a very tough group. Brazil, the betting favorites. Serbia, who just barely made it. Switzerland, Cameroon. So Brazil stacked. We don't really need to even say much about them. They're going to win all three of their games.
All three of them, and they're going to win them. Like the only question I have about Brazil is who's in number one, because Alisson is probably going to be the number one, but I mean Anderson's not a bad backup.
I mean, yeah, those are two of the best keepers in the world, so not a problem there.
Yeah, so but I mean,
I think Alisson has been named starter.
I think he's been, yeah. I mean, they're a little sketchy at the back. I mean, Thiago Silva is still playing well, but also very old.
I can't believe they picked Dani Alves.
Yeah,
like, he's like 40 and playing in Mexico.
Yeah, and Militao, again, we've been discussing this in the group chat. Like, great player, prone to just doing dumb shit every once in a while.
They got Marquinhos too, though.
They got Marquinhos, but I mean, in midfield, they have Fabiano, Casemiro, Bruno Guimaraes, who has been fantastic.
Unbelievable.
One of the best players. And then up front, I mean,
we don't even have
Neymar, Vinicius, Anthony, Gabriel Jesus, Martinelli, Rafinha. Pedro still playing well for...
That's different Pedro.
Oh, that's a different Pedro.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one who...
this Pedro is a Flamengo player.
Flamengo, and he should be there. Or they're saying... Wait, wasn't he supposed to be there over somebody else?
What's crazy is Firmino didn't make the team.
Firmino, thank you. That's who he made it, and Firmino didn't make it. And Bobby Chompers has been playing his ass off this year.
Yeah. I mean, there's a few guys who I would have taken Bobby Chompers over. I mean, they picked Anthony from your lads.
Yeah.
But Bobby's having a better season than them. Different
position, but he's
a player.
Yeah.
Rodrigo, you got to put him there. He's having a great season at Real Madrid. Richarlison, though, been hurt a lot. So yeah, I mean, there's some candidates that I would have put Firmino on the plane for sure.
Because I think Firmino is absolutely like he's their best option for a number 9. They're probably going to put like Jesus in the middle with like let's go with Neymar and Vinicius like on either side of them. I think Firmino's a better player for that spot than Jesus, who's having a hell of a season at Arsenal. But yeah, anyway, we're arguing about an embarrassment of riches.
I mean, really,
stupid.
I mean, they, at forward, it's almost like France too, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, their backup three to their front three is better than the rest of the teams.
Yeah.
Second place though, up for grabs.
Yeah.
Serbia and Switzerland. I think I kind of like the Swiss to go through. Braille Mbolo is having a very good season at Monaco. Haris Seferovic is having a good season, and Noah Okafor at RB Salzburg,
right,
was filling up in Champions League. Almost got them to the group stages. Djibril Sow sitting in front of defense for Eintracht Frankfurt, who are having a very good season.
Yep.
Obviously, Granit Xhaka sitting alongside him. He'll be the captain. And very strong at the back. Nico Elvedi at Werder Bremen and Manuel Akanji, obviously of Manchester City, as their center backs.
Fabian Schär has been great for Newcastle.
Yeah, picked up a knock in his last game, but apparently is healthy.
Is healthy, okay.
So that was great to see. Ricardo Rodriguez somehow still on this team. He's still going. But I think I like them slightly more than Serbia. Obviously, they have Alexander Mitrovic up front. Who's having a very good season at Fulham.
Yes.
Luka Jovic, who's rediscovered his form a little bit at Fiorentina after an ill-fated spell at Real Madrid. Filip Kostic, obviously very, very good at Juventus as a wide winger and one of the best crossers of the ball.
Is Dusan Vlahovic? Is he?
Yeah, he's hurt now.
So he's taking up a spot.
He's going.
He's going, and they're going to see.
And they're going to see it because he did not feature for Juve at the weekend.
No.
So it's one of those ones. Like I think it's similar to Lukaku. Like recovering just in time, but like maybe not playing the first game kind of thing.
Right. Okay.
And, I mean, he's their best player.
Yeah, so I was gonna say that's who you should be that's who we should be starting off with. But I mean, if he's hurt, I mean, I think Mitrovic and Tadic, I think that they can kind of make up for what he does, but they can't do it as well as he does.
Yeah. And Milinkovic Savic, also from Lazio, very, very classy player in the middle. So, yeah, Switzerland, Serbia, I think it's between those two for second place. Cameroon, Eric Maxime Choupo-Moting.
Yep.
Filling it up at Bayern Munich. He'll be leading the line. Brian Mbuemo's having a good season.
At Brentford.
Yep. So they have some good talent up front. But I do think it's kind of a down period for Cameroon. Good that they qualify, but I think they'll probably be fourth. So, but who do you got going through second?
Gun to my head, I'd probably take Serbia, but I don't feel good about it. And really, actually, I feel worse about it now that I know that Vlahovic might not be playing. So I'm going to stick with them, but Switzerland could absolutely pull it out. And I mean, it's basically going to be that Switzerland Serbia game. Winner of that goes through.
And Switzerland always seemed to play up to the competition in major tournaments.
That's true.
Remember last Euros? Like I think they were. I think they were in the last 8.
Last 8, yeah, no, for sure. And Shaqiri, I'm sure he's gonna want to come over to and play like, hey, like remember me? Like I know that I'm playing for Chicago Fire. Yeah. But remember me? I'm still good. So yeah, you want to know what? I'll go Swiss. You want to know what? I will stick with Serbia, but knowing that I'm going to lose that, it's probably going to be the Swiss.
I'm taking Switzerland to go through second, and we have one more group. This is my group of death. I mean, we talked about Group E, which is
all 4 of these teams could.
These are good teams.
Yeah.
All of them.
Them.
We'll talk about it. Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay, and Korea. Portugal, okay. I mean, we might as well deal with it now. The videos coming out of the Portuguese camp, extremely awkward today. Of course, one Cristiano Ronaldo sat down with the fuckwad that is Piers fucking Morgan.
I don't know if I'm more mad the fact what he said about Manchester United or that he talked to Piers Morgan, and I'm pretty sure that it's Piers Morgan.
Yeah.
Because he's a fucking twat.
If you pay attention to the sport, you already know what happened.
Yeah.
He has thrown Eric Ten Hag under the bus. He's thrown the ownership under the bus. And these are just the quotes we've heard so far in a 90-minute interview that is yet to air.
Yeah.
But man, is it weird. We saw him greet his teammate Bruno Fernandes and get kind of the cold shoulder at the locker.
Yeah.
We saw him try to goof around with Joao Cancelo and basically being like, what the fuck are you doing?
Cancelo was like, if you don't get your hands off my head, dude, like, what are you doing?
So it's weird vibes at the Portuguese squad. Now, on paper, the best squad in the group.
Easily. Well, on paper, they should be like one of the top
through.
5 or 6 teams to win. And they might still be. I haven't looked at the odds, but they still might. They should be up there. Like,
they're, for my money, like 4th best team in the world.
Look, I mean, Ronaldo. Sure, you still have Ronaldo,
but Andre Silva, Rafael Leao, Gonzalo Ramos, Joao Felix,
right?
What?
I mean, again, and this is one of those things. Should Ronaldo be starting?
No.
No. Well, and I mean, that's the thing, and that is the whole, and they're gonna, because as we've learned about Cristiano Ronaldo. And it sucks that he did. And are we going to do the whole Ronaldo thing now? Because I mean, that should have been after the big Tottenham win, left the stadium early. After this big win against Fulham, we shouldn't have needed to beat Fulham. That's a whole other conversation that we'll get into. But a great winner for Garnacho. And
you guys are playing well.
You guys are playing well, but he's not why they're playing well. No. And the attention isn't on Cristiano Ronaldo. So
he's a baby.
And he's always been like this.
He's a narcissist.
He's never had. I just feel he's never had anyone in his life since he became Cristiano Ronaldo. No one's ever told him no, or you're being an idiot. Like, someone should have been like, yo, what are you doing? What are you talking about? Like, talking about Ten Hag doesn't respect you. He made you the fucking captain a week after you left your team. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's just wild.
Like he might be losing. He might be just so insulated from people. He might be losing a grip on reality, man. Like,
that's what we were saying in the group chat today. Like, the scenes from Portugal training are like troubling.
Yeah,
like he does seem to kind of have gone over the edge.
And the thing is that now you've got all of these guys they should be one of the 6 top favorites to win the World Cup. And now I got to sit up here and answer questions about you at Manchester United.
It's going to fuck the vibes up, right?
What, exactly. So, I mean, and then, okay, let's go to the midfield. Bernardo Silva, Ruben Neves, Bruno Fernandes, William Carvalho still playing well for Porto?
Betis.
He was at Porto at one point.
Sporting.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, he played in Portugal. Yeah, man. Even Mateus Nunes, like Otavio, like that midfield is
stacked. It's one of the best midfields around. Yeah,
and
sure.
even and at the back, Ruben Diaz, Diogo Dalot, the aforementioned João Cancelo. They're still trotting Pepe's. He's got to be 40 at this point, right?
Yeah, and Antonio Silva at Benfica also having a fantastic. I mean, the best fullbacks in the world. Yeah. As a collection are right here. I mean, Joao Cancelo, Diogo Dalot, and Antonio Silva, and Rafa Guerrero from Dortmund. Holy moly. Like, if you could play all fullbacks.
And then at the back, Rui Patricio, still a good keeper. Even Jose Sa isn't like terrible. Like, and all we're doing is talking about friggin' this man baby being mad because he's not the. Now, there's some other things like, oh, well, you know, they didn't believe that my daughter was sick in preseason. And like, you want to know what? Okay, cool. That has nothing to do with any of the stuff that you said. And it sucks because he actually made a few good points. Like the Glazers don't care about sporting. They only care about merchandising, which the lack of self-awareness is incredible because the number one example of them not caring about sport stuff and merchandising bringing you back. So like he might have lost his mind. Portugal should win this group going away. I was looking at their odds for not making it out of the group, and I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to bet it. I might because, you know, Uruguay still a very good squad. Like look at up front, Darwin Nunez, Edison Cavani's crazy old. Luis Suarez was playing in Mexico. Uruguay.
He's back home. He was at Nacional in Uruguay. Right. But Cavani's at Valencia and getting minutes.
Right, yes.
Maxi Gomez, very good player. I think he's at Villarreal. But yeah, very good midfield.
Bentancur is going to be awesome.
Rodrigo Bentancur, we'll get to the Premier League story. One of the best midfielders in England this season. Like, unbelievable. He will be running that midfield. They got Lucas Torreira, Matias Vecino from Lazio, Fede Valverde. Fede Valverde has a shout for best player in Europe in the club season so far. I mean, he's been arguably Real Madrid's best player.
It's either him or Vinny, and I would probably lean Valverde right now, to be quite honest.
Yep. And pretty strong at the back, although getting a little long in the tooth. I can't believe they're still putting Diego Godin on this team. But
how old is it? Okay, 36. That's actually better than I thought it was.
Much younger than I thought. Jimenez, though, from Atleti to anchor that defense. So they will be second favorites to go through. Tough draw for Ghana, who are the best team out of all the African squads, in my opinion, at this tournament, but pulled a really tough group. It'll be interesting to see if they can, maybe nip a point at either one of Korea or Uruguay and try to get through, because this is a great squad. It's just a tough pull. I mean, up front, they got Iñaki Williams, who, his brother's playing for Spain. He picked Ghana. He's probably their best striker, but they also have Jordan Ayew from Crystal Palace. They have Kamal Soa, who's had a great season at Club Brugge and scored some goals in Champions League this year. Andre Ayew is still doing it. I think he's still at Swansea City. Obviously, Thomas Partey, one of the classiest holding midfielders around to sit in front of defense. Salis Abdul Samed having a fantastic season, one of the best midfielders in France at RC Lens, who are second in France. Kalmadine Sulemana at Stade Rennais, not getting a ton of minutes, but one of the hottest young talents in Europe, wanted by all the big squads. And Daniel Kofi Kieré at Eintracht Frankfurt. So very, very good midfield. And then you've got Tariq Lamptey of Brighton on the wing.
Been playing better. He had got off to a rough start in season, but he's been playing better as of late.
And a very good center back pairing of Daniel Amarte of Leicester City and Mohamed Salisu of Southampton, who are both having very good seasons in the Premier League. So this is a very good squad and just, I think, a really tough group because Korea also
Very good.
Very, very good. I mean, this is a true group of death. You've got Sonny obviously leading the line. He will be recovered in time. And I just want to talk about Lee Kang-in of Mallorca, who I think has been one of the best players in Spain. Playing in,
Yes.
I think the reason that Vedat Marici, who's one of the leading scorers in Spain right now, their number 9, is because of the service that is being provided by Lee Kang-in from Mallorca. Unbelievable. Jung Woo Young having a great season in the Bundesliga. They're very good at the back as well. Kim Min Jae.
He's been great for
Napoli, who
yes.
are top of the league in Serie A. He slotted into that Koulibaly spot and been one of the best center backs in Europe.
Better than Koulibaly.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, this Korea team is no joke. So, like, who do you got going through? I mean, I got Portugal going through despite all the drama. I'm going to pick them to win the group. What are you saying?
I'm going Ghana and Korea.
Oh!
I'm going Ghana and Korea. No, because I think, I mean, there is something to be said about vibes, man. Like, Ronaldo is just a poison. Like, and like, we're getting to the point he's never playing on Manchester United again. Like, they're just like, whatever, buy him out, and you're not poisoning our club because we're building a team. You do not want to build a team. The whole point, I think, after he left Juve, I think it was Bonucci or Chiellini or one of those two came out and they were like, after he left, we played more like a team. Yeah. Because when Ronaldo's on the pitch, everybody else's whole entire goal in life is to get the ball to him. Whereas, like, if they just played like a free-flowing thing, like, and I think that if you would realize that, like, if he played like that, yes, you can get goals too. You just have to, like, other people, but he doesn't care. And, like, and the last thing I'll say about him is just, like, I hate to bring up this comparison, but look at Messi. Messi, now, and granted, Manchester United doesn't have someone like Mbappe or Neymar that he can defer to, but Messi has tailored his game to fit in with the team that is, not making Messi and Mbappe fix their games. He's going to slot in as a team because he's a team player. What does Ronaldo do? Like, you know what I mean? It's just
you're preaching to the choir.
But I think. Well, I mean, shit. You've been talking about this for probably as long as we've been friends, man.
Yeah, man.
Like,
Messi is, like, as you said, like, he fits into any team situation because he passes the ball.
Yeah, and we're Ronaldo does it, and so you want to know what? I'm going. And there's not going to be. It's going to be a close group, but I'm going. And I'm going to look like an asshole when this doesn't work out and Portugal goes like 3 of 3 with 24 goals scored. But I'm going Korea first, Ghana second, Portugal third, Uruguay fourth.
Wow.
Yeah.
Big call. I still got Portugal taking the group. I think they're just too much talent. I think they'll get over whatever the locker room issues are. I still have them going through. I am picking the Koreans to go through in second, though.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I really like that squad. Really like Sonny. Really like Kang-in.
Is he healthy?
Yes. They again maybe. You know, it's a head injury, so like it's really hard with those to tell. But they say he's passing all the tests and everything, and he's training. Okay. So,
and I think that they could be better because actually their first game is against Uruguay. So I mean, no easy games in this group. So, and they really need him bad. I saw him celebrating with people on the weekend, so it looks like he's all right. But yeah, let's go. Like that's gonna be a tough group. I'm so ready for this tournament to start.
Yeah, man, it's coming soon.
Yeah.
So that's our group by group preview. Let's go winners and runners up.
Like for the entire tournament?
For the tournament.
Oh, Jesus. I'm going to go. I want to say France just because of their, like, they can put out 7 strikers and 4 defenders and then just figure it out, or 3 defenders and then just go for there.
This would be a title defense.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Argentina, though. I think,
yes.
I think Messi finally gets his World Cup. I think he's in a place now where he's not pressing so much. I don't think I think that they're going to win this because he's not pressing so much and he doesn't feel this pressure. We all know that he's been goated. He's up there in the pantheon of the stratosphere. I don't think that he has that pressure to win the World Cup anymore. And I think that we're going to see him actually probably play his best. And now remember, he was awesome in 2018.
I mean, he's been really good in all of them.
All
I
of
mean,
them,
it's really a shame that federation is such a mess and has really failed to pick a squad around him until now. I think they did a great job with this squad.
I think they did a really good job. Like,
and you're taking all the drama out of it because that was my pick also.
yeah, okay. Well, damn it. Okay, well then in that case.
But you know what though? I think it's a great pick, and this is why we pod together.
Yeah, and I think that number 2, like, I mean, I don't know how the way it'll break out in terms of the draw.
Matchups, yeah.
I would love to see if like Brazil, Argentina in the final because Brazil's my number 2 team.
Me too.
But I mean, there's a lot of talent in the team, but I just think Argentina, they have the best. They not that Messi's still the best player in the world, but I think that he's still the best player, if that makes any sense.
And like, I mean, look at they're another wealth of riches all around him. I mean, they're not lacking for talent anywhere on the field. So
yeah. Now, number 3, if Gareth takes a handbrake off, let England go. I think that they could, if they do something about, I think that they could just win games 4-3.
They got plenty of attacking talent.
Yeah.
Midfield is fantastic.
Yeah, and
one of the best midfielders in the world.
And they can bring Jack Grealish and Phil Foden off the bench. Well, Foden's probably going to start. But yeah, like all of the talent that they can bring off. Spain's loaded. Belgium is going to disappoint us once again. God love them. I think I would get them maybe the Final Four, but I don't trust their defense enough. Yeah, you want to know what? I'm sticking with Argentina. I feel good about that.
Yep. All right, so that's all we got for our World Cup preview. Stay tuned for our programming during the World Cup. We are going to do a live watch-along for Canada's second match in the weekend on YouTube. We're going to get some boys out in the studio. We're going to live stream it on YouTube so you can watch along with us for the Croatia match.
I apologize for any swearing that might happen because I'm probably going to be drinking and it'll be 11 o'clock in the morning.
Let's do it. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to The False Nine. We will see you next time. Be sure to give us a like and subscribe on our YouTube channel and give us a follow on Instagram, and we will see you next time.